Okay, so Monday I asked you to think about a time that maybe you got distracted or maybe you weren't paying attention as closely to your reading. And we talked about that being a time maybe that reading wasn't so great for you. If you're getting distracted a lot, it's probably not a great book for you. But then yesterday we talked about ways to kind of pre plan where you're going to stop and think about your text depending on what your goal is. Well, sometimes we're reading and we get super distracted and our brain starts to wander off and think about other things. So I want you to think about a time that happened because I can tell all of us have fallen into that before. That happens to me all the time. I'll be reading something. It might be an article. It might even be Facebook, something I'm interested in. And I start thinking, I wonder what we're going to have for dinner. Or, I wonder what I should get this person for Christmas. Or, I wonder what time the football game is today. My brain can wander in a million different directions when I'm reading. And a lot of the time, I like to model for you a specific strategy. But today, because you can't be inside my brain and you can't see when I start wandering, I'm just going to tell you what you can do when that happens, because we all have experienced that problem when we've been reading. And so I have 3 steps for you today of how to catch yourself when your mind starts running away. Okay, friends. So when your mind starts running away and is no longer focused on what you are reading or really what you're doing to begin with. Sometimes this happens when mom says go clean your room and you kind of get distracted by your Beyblades or your Pokemon or maybe a really cool book sometimes. We all get distracted by things. So the first thing you have to do, step 1, is go, uh-oh, and you have to catch yourself, right? The first thing that happens is your mind starts running. The second is you got to catch it. You got to go, oh, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? And it's kind of like you're reminding yourself. Okay. And then the third thing is go back and reread. And I do not want you to start at the very, very, very beginning of your book. But what you need to think in your brain is, what was the last thing I remember reading? And so you kind of retell the story up until a certain point. And at that certain point that you no longer can remember anymore, you need to find that part and go, oh, I remember this part. I'm going to start rereading right here because this is where my attention stopped. Okay. So this is what you do. There's 3 steps. The uh-oh of your mind running. You start wondering maybe what you're going to have for lunch. You got to catch it. And then you got to go back, find the spot that you remember reading right before the spot that you remember not reading. And that is where you start. But some of you might have a difficult time realizing when your mind is running or wandering away and you're getting distracted. I'm going to give you a challenge. Remember the other day when we talked about putting Post-its in our book? You might need more Post-its. And some of those might not need to be ones where you stop and jot. They might just be a question like, are you still reading? Do you remember what you're reading? Has your mind been wandering? Those might be Post-its that you give yourself along the way to remind yourself not to get distracted. But remember, if you are looking for books in the library on your shopping day that truly are interesting to you, you have a less chance of your mind wandering. And the only way to become a better reader is to actually be reading. So readers, today and every day when you are reading books, articles, whatever you're reading, and you have an uh-oh moment where your mind starts wandering, check yourself, catch it, go back and reread, and then you will get better and better, and your stamina and the length of your reading will increase. Okay, let's go practice.